Another week of NFL picks knocking at your front door on a Sunday morning. The studio looks a little bit different from the last time you saw me, but look around. We're sprucing it up over here. We're making strides. We're progressing. We're upgrading. And we're still waiting for a couple new additions to arrive in the mail. Can't wait for that because look around. It's gonna look even better than this. Can you imagine that? I certainly can't. But although the NFL regular season is coming to a close after this week, that doesn't mean videos are coming to an end because we're still going to be making content. We're still going to be making videos. And I just want to hint something. And I thought about this, what the next video would be. And I kind of want to do an NFL wrap-up to the regular season, previewing the playoffs. But in that video, I will also reveal my record of picks throughout the season. Now, I don't know what that is. I haven't tallied it yet. But I'm going to reveal it no matter how hideous it is, no matter how regrettable of a decision that might be. I'm going to let it loose. And you know what? I'm not going to have any regrets about it. So without further ado, let's wrap this thing up in style. Thank you so much for following along throughout these 17 weeks. I can't thank you enough for all the support. But all spreads provided by FanDuel Sportsbook. Check out the Instagram at AnySportsUnited. Check out the website as well, AnySportsUnited.com. Doing a lot of reading and writing over there. So week 17, looking to improve one last time. Say it with me, everybody. Let's go. The Carolina Panthers are 5.5-point dogs at home to New Orleans. Take the points with Carolina. Something interesting about the Saints this week, and it might be kind of important. Pretty interested to see how this unfolds, is they don't have a running back. Alvin Kamara tested positive for COVID. That entire running back room is also out for week 17. You saw against the Vikings how important Kamara is to how they play offensively, additionally to what he does in the run game, in the receiving game. And he had 6 touchdowns against Minnesota. He really plays a big part in how they play, and they're going to miss him against the Panthers with hopes that he'll return for the playoffs. Carolina, 5-10 football team, not all that great, but 8 of Carolina's 10 losses were one-possession games. Carolina defense has forced a turnover in all but 2 games this season. They're top 10 in time of possession, so I know New Orleans wants home field advantage for as much as they can. I know they want to buy. I know they just want as many circumstance advantages that they can possibly get. But is it worth necessarily playing their hardest against a average football team? I'm not really sure. I think they're particularly vulnerable in this game, especially on the road. Give me the Saints to win, but the Panthers to cover. 24-21, Saints win. Buffalo and Miami both with playoff aspirations out of the AFC East. They play in Buffalo this weekend. I'm going to take the Bills minus 2.5. Now, earlier in the week, I checked the spread. It was Buffalo minus 3.5. It has since trended in Miami's direction a little bit. Now it's Buffalo minus 2.5. I'm still going to take the Bills. Buffalo is just the hottest team in the NFL. They're a big play offense. They score the 6th most points per game. They convert 50% of their third downs, number 1 in the NFL. That's a huge stat right there. And the biggest thing to me, I think, is Miami starting Tua, a rookie quarterback. Can he win at Buffalo against the hottest team in the NFL, arguably? And I checked the weather. Now, this is funny. I checked the weather in Buffalo on Sunday. Listen to this. 36 degrees. Snow showers. Do you think a Florida team can handle that? You think a Florida team, a rookie quarterback, who, they've been kind of babysitting a little bit. They haven't really unleashed him to, play recklessly, play, chips at the center of the table. They've rather, groomed him into the system. You think he's going to be able to play in 36-degree snow showers, whatever that is? Is that some Buffalo terminology? Snow showers. Let's roll with it. But 6 straight wins for Buffalo by double digits. Now, they just blow everyone out of the water. Pun intended. Dolphins water. They're going to blow the Dolphins out. But I think this is more than a one-possession game. I think this is yet another double-digit win for Buffalo. They want that second seed. They're going to be motivated. They want to build up momentum towards the playoffs. And to be honest, I don't think Miami can hang in this situation. Now, the Dolphins can still get in regardless if they win or not. I think that how they do this late in the season. If Cleveland wins, if Indy ties, there's just a bunch of scenarios in which Miami can win despite not winning this game. It'll certainly help if they get it, if they win this game. But I'm still going to take Buffalo to win and protect their home turf 30-20 over Miami. This game here, make no mistake, means absolutely squat. And most importantly, we're going to talk about it. The New England Patriots hosting the New York Jets. Give me the Pats minus 3. Now, this one's not overly complicated by any stretch, but Briefly, I'd consider not even doing this game in all honesty, because both teams have their eyes set on next season. The Jets are locked and loaded at number 2 in this year's draft. They both have focuses elsewhere, essentially. And then I thought to myself, you know what? You're New England Sports United. You're nesportsunited.com. Check it out, by the way. And you should cherish the opportunity to talk about this team one more time. This awkward, this weird, this uncharacteristic, this offensively meh, this defensively meh team. Talk about it one more time during the regular season for good time's sake. So we are. And, you know, coaching, obviously the edge goes to New England. Bill Belichick versus Adam Gase, the mismatch of mismatches. But most importantly, the Jets don't really have much to play for. But for the Patriots side, this is Cam Newton's last tryout in front of 31 other NFL teams. Now, the Patriots gave him a 1-year rental. They tried him out for 1 year. It didn't really go the way they expected or the way they wanted to. And he's going to get the start one more time. And now this is an opportunity for Cam to really put it all out there against the team. I mean, maybe he looks good and another team will bite. And maybe the Patriots will go in a different direction in the offseason. That's a blog post to be. 2 plugs in one segment. What do you know? I'm giddy about that. But for the Patriots, they're riding a 3-game losing streak in which they haven't scored over 12 points in any of the games. The Jets are on a 2-game win streak. They're not that good, though. So, in all honesty, like, the passing game for the Pats hasn't looked great at all by any stretch, but the run game, statistically speaking, is all right. I mean, it's top 10, so it's good. But that doesn't really translate to, or it hasn't anyway, it hasn't translated to wins on the field. So, I think, you know, 3-point spread. If you told me earlier this year the Jets would visit Gillette Stadium and be 3-point dogs, I'd be like, oh, what sports book are you going to? I'm going to take the Patriots all day on that. So I'm going to take the Patriots. Not overly complicated, but what's the score I got for you? 20-13 in an absolute thriller. Patriots beat the Jets. Let's wrap this thing up with the biggest game, arguably, of the weekend. Giants and Cowboys in MetLife Stadium. The duel for the crown of the worst division in football. Now, whoever wins this game, I believe, takes sole possession of the NFC East, I believe, and whoever wins that division makes it to the playoffs. I think it depends on the scenarios of Washington, Philly later on in the day. I'm not really sure how it works itself out, but this game is important. And I see a red flashing button on my camera, meaning the battery's almost dead. So we're still rolling. So let's hustle. Let's hurry. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys minus 1.5 here. I don't necessarily trust the Cowboys in any sort of big spot, but what can I say? I mean, Andy Dalton has played well in his last 3 games. 3-game win streak. He scored over 30 in each of those games. And during the streak, 66% completion, 7 touchdowns, an interception, and a pass rating of 117, 9 yards a throw, meaning they get yards in bulk. That's big for a big play offense. And the defense that has caught a lot of criticism throughout the season has forced 10 turnovers during that 3-game win streak too. So they're moving it on both sides of the ball. The Giants have been outgained in 11 games this year, and in those games they're 3-8. So if Dallas gets ahead, Dallas gets more yards, Dallas will likely win the football game. Dallas is missing Leighton Vander Esch. That's also a big loss for that defense, but I don't think that defense necessarily has to worry too much about Daniel Jones. The Cowboys will steal one in New York. And New York, you know, they get their spirits crushed almost every season in basketball and football and almost every other sport except baseball. So this will only add to it. Cowboys win 26-20 in New York, take sole possession of the NFC East. And thank you for watching and following along this 17-week show. It was the highlight of my week. I absolutely loved every second of it. And what better way to kick off a YouTube channel than weekly NFL picks, am I right? So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, for commenting, for liking, for subscribing, for sharing, for all the feedback. Thank you. And let me just say, more is on the way.